Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Aiden. Say hi. Hi. You say hi? You don't want to say hi? Alright, so he's not going to say hi today. Maybe we'll get him to say hi in a later video. But today, Aiden's going to help me unbox the Kraken M22. But Aiden, can you tear this up for us? Open it. Open it. Show him how you do an unboxing. So, right here, what we have is our radiator, or known as rad. He wants to take it all off. All right. And then there's, that's the radiator, son. Now, as you notice, a little bit different is on the radiator is the pump. It's because of copyright. So, NZXT holds the copyright to have the pump right here. So the Kraken M22 120 millimeter liquid cooler. Where are you going? Don't you want to stay on video? You stay on video? Hi! Say hi! See you guys in a minute. Come on, get over there. Where are you going? Can I go with you? I want to play. I want to play. And don't forget, guys, a snack. And Aiden wanted more fries. We're kind of redoing the unboxing that we did with Aiden the other day. So he's taking a nap, so he's not able to help us today. So let's do a quick re-unboxing. So this is, first off, it's the Kraken M22 120 millimeter liquid cooler. It's all-in-one, so you don't have to add water. You don't have to do anything except for take it out of the box, use the clamps that are included in the box. It has everything you need. So yeah, the reason why I went with this cooler is I got the stock cooler that came with my 3700X. It's a great cooler, but I want to put water just a little bit, just so I could get a little bit of more headroom, so it'll boost a little bit longer. So I chose this one basically because NZXT, it's my case, so it'll match. I guess I'm a stickler for matching. That's why I went AMD CPU, AMD GPU. So I kind of want to stick. Plus, it'll link right up to the CAM software inside. And yeah, I mean, that's basically about it, guys. I mean, it's not the best water cooler. And I'll show you something that NZXT did with the Kraken series. So that way they can avoid a patent lawsuit with their own partner, which is a little weird, but whatever. Creative, but weird. Gamers Nexus actually did a full breakdown of all that. They also took it apart. We will not be doing that today. Maybe later, but not now. As with water coolers comes pros and cons. So it's water. Takes longer to heat up, distributes heat better, but we're not planning to do serious overclock. It's a great CPU, but it's not made for that. You can overclock it, you'll get a little bit out of it, but you want to give it headroom and let it just boost by itself. So let's see what we got again. So we have a fan, of course. We got brackets, the radiator itself. Now, here's the radiator, and here's what NZXT did differently right here. Do you see this block right here in the middle? Well, that's the pump. Normally, the pump is inside of here. The block for the CPU. Instead, it's got its cover right here. And what this is the infinity logo for NZXT. And that's pretty much it that's here. It's got its own PCB inside of here. It's NZXT's own making. And it's got a copper plate and their own thermal compound. I was contemplating about taking it off and putting the Arctic Silver. I'll probably just leave the factory on there because I'm probably going to take it off every month or so, or 3 weeks or so, clean it, keep an eye on it, because that's another thing about water. When they go bad, they could take some stuff with it, where an air cooler won't. It'll just go out, you'll see your temperatures rising, and you could take care of it. With these, you should keep an eye on them. So every week or so, or 2 weeks, check it. I'm not talking about taking it off. Just, look around it, make sure no weird sounds are coming through. So yeah, just make sure there's no water leaking anywhere down the motherboard. If it's leaking down the motherboard, you're pretty much screwed at that point. But it's got 3-year warranty, I believe, so that should help you. It's very nice braided hose. It's got a lot of length on it, so if you want to run it to the front of your case, you could. So again, just make sure there's no water leaking, no leakage. The odds on it happening are slim to none, but don't be that one person on Reddit, screaming your head off, NZXT busted my computer. Well, it happens, guys. Computers are funny. A guy told me where he bought the Corsair Vengeance RAM sticks and it fried his computer. Then he tells me he had a B450 motherboard and he was overclocking a 3600, I believe. I don't think it was an X or an XT, but yeah, he was overclocking on a 450 board. And he blamed it on the RAM. I don't understand it. Anywho, so yeah, now, as you see here, this is the part that has the Infinity logo. And from what I gather, you can change the colors. It's not a screen where you can make animations. It's just an infinity, basically 3 circles. You'll see that once we put it in the machine. Right now, we're just going to talk a little bit about the radiator and the pump. So yes, the pump is inside of here. And the fins, they're the propellers that move the water around inside of here. Like I said, Gamers Nexus did a complete teardown. So I seen what's inside of here. I already know what I'm getting myself into. They're not nothing special. They're not nothing to write home to mom about and say, Mom, I got this crazy fan propeller and she does everything for me. No, it's okay. They said pretty much basically, if you need and only can use a 120 millimeter radiator in your PC build because of your case or what have you, and you like RGB, fine. But if none of those things are the case, don't go for it. I like it because I really don't need it. I have the stock cooler. Stock cooler's cool, but I like the Infinity logo. I like the way it looks. So yeah, it's nothing crazy, guys. But the other problem, you got this big block right in the middle of your radiator. Water flows through the channels, carrying cool water to hot water, back down the hose, back and forth, and it recycles this over and over again, keeping cool water to the CPU block. With this in the middle, it takes away this. Yes, you're probably, yes, it kind of is in a way, but your fan at the same time has this in the middle. So it kind of blocks it. Can you zoom up on that? As you can see, it kind of blocks it. It sticks out a little bit, but I don't think it's in any way gonna affect it. Nothing serious. Again, this is not a major cooling system. This is not something, oh, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna overclock. No, this is just to provide a little bit more headroom for your Ryzen CPU. We can't sit here for hours and talk about a radiator and a copper plate that goes on top of your CPU. But I could warn you before you go out, if you are looking for a radiator setup for your computer, an AIO all-in-one loop, there's better choices. Corsair makes them, they all make them, and tell you the truth, any other step above this is better. But it was $80 brand new, and it matches my setup, and like I said, I'm not doing any major overclocking to my CPU. The RAM is overclocked. My GPU have a little bit of overclock because really and truly there's not too much you could go with the Red Devil. So this is just to give it that little bit more room to boost. And I do check my computer out a lot. I'm always opening the case nearly every single day. I'm a smoker, if you didn't notice. And smoking by a computer isn't really a great thing because it causes more dust buildup. It clogs your vents. And this case, again, not a great airflow case. This case gets great if you take off the front glass panel. Matthew, can we get a closer glass? It's got two 140 mil fans in the front, but there's no holes. All the holes are along the side here and down the bottom. So it really doesn't. Yeah, a cigarette, guys, or incense would be better. You could put it around your case and see how it sucks in, if you got positive or negative, and you could push it around to see if it's grabbing air, if it's doing its job. So yeah, there's a little trick I stole from Jay. Let's move forward. So what we're gonna do now is give you a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna post a picture of it, that way you guys can see the languages. But from what I could read, we got English, Espanol, Francis, Dutch, Italiano, Portuguese, Russian, and a couple different other languages that I can't even read. And also, it weighs 0.88 kilograms. The radiator's dimension is 156 long. These are millimeters, 156 millimeters long, 120 millimeters wide, and a height of 32 millimeters. And it is made of aluminum, because the rest of it's made of aluminum, like the radiator and what have you. But the front, where the CPU socket and what have you, the CPU block is made of copper. You don't have to worry about mixed metals because they have an additive in here. The tubes, the length are 400 millimeter. The material is ultra low evaporation rubber with braided nylon sleeve. The fan, the model is a 120 millimeter PWM fan. You get one. The speed is 5 to 2,000 plus 300 RPM, and the noise level they say is 21 to 36 dBA. Mind you, any of the numbers you hear now when it comes to like the sound and cooling, that's done in the most optimal settings. Open test bench in a room that's probably 35 degrees Fahrenheit. RGB modes, we have some presets. Preset number 1 is fixed, breathing, fading, pulse, spectrum, wave, marquee, covering marquee, alternating, loading, heat exchange. The reactive modes are smart and audio, and you control them via the CAM software, which if you have this case, more than likely you have the CAM setup on it. And it does have a 3-year warranty, which is great. So if anything happens, so try to keep your receipts, guys, for everything. So it says performance on an Intel i7 7000K overclocked to 4.3 gigahertz with the Kraken M22 with 71 Celsius. With the stock cooler for Intel is 90 degrees Celsius. Take this with a grain of salt, because more than likely, open test bench in the most coolest room, in the most perfect optimal settings God has created on earth. Now on the back of the box, right here, this is the Infinity right here, guys. This is what it'll look like when you put it in. That's the Infinity logo. Basically, this looks like it's got depth to it, like it fades into infinity. So let's see what it says. The Kraken M22 features 2 individually addressable RGB channels and our signature infinity mirror effect for stunning lighting. Using CAM's intuitive controls, it includes precision engineered fans and premium build quality, and is backed by the assurance of a 3-year warranty. And be assured, we're not going to tell you what that full warranty is unless you go online, with some discrepancies. But if it blows up or does something, I've heard that they do take care of it. And the CAM software is pretty cool. I've used a lot of different ones like IQ for Corsair and what have you. And I actually like CAM software. It's pretty easy to get around, and it's not the most bloatware I've seen, to take up that much CPU usage or RAM usage. It really doesn't bother it compared to others. Corsairs is a killer. The fan, efficient and customizable radiator fans. They can also be customized using removable color trims sold separately. So what it's saying here is this fan, you could take these out right here where the screws go in to lock it onto the radiator, and you can get different colors. Or you can run down the AutoZone and get any type of plastic dip and spray it. Don't spray here. Stay away from the fan itself, because I think it said it's bearings inside of there, but it doesn't matter. You don't want paint to get inside of here, guys. So just do this, unless you're like really cool guy and you could take this all apart and move the motors out of the way. But otherwise, just don't do it. Just take these out, paint them any color you want. Not that nobody's gonna see them anyways. All right, guys, so this is what comes inside the little baggie. So you got your thumb screws. These will go on the CPU block, the infinity thing, to tighten them down to your motherboard onto the back plate. Another bracket, and all the screws you're going to need necessary to install the fan to the radiator to the case, so on and so on, and a USB 2.0 fan header. So this is going to go from the block to the motherboard to an AIO header on your motherboard. That way you can control the pump and also be able to see the temperatures and things like that. So that's what's inside the little bag. It's not much, guys. There's really nothing here. So yeah, see, it tells you on the bag, this is for the LGA 2011. And then this one will be for everything else that's on the box. I'll have all that put up on the screen. And you got your manual. And the manual opens up with ease. All right, guys, that's the unboxing. Also a little bit more detail of what comes inside the box and what it mounts up to. Like I always say, if you go new, it's compatible. Also to say it on the box. And there's a lot of people out there who know a lot. If you stay in the forums, you'll find some people who know a lot. Now, you're gonna get this argument. Fanboys, liquid boys. Yeah, I know. So fan will always argue the point that a fan is better than water. Most of their argument is on it's water. You shouldn't have it near your system. The water will then argue the point that it keeps the CPU more cool because water dissipates heat better than any other substance on Earth. It's water. So I'll make this simple. If you're looking to cool your CPU a little bit more, just a little bit more because you might be doing a lot of work, go air. If you're planning to overclock, go water. If you're planning to go with the M22 over here, don't plan to really overclock. You could do it because you could do it with the stock cooler that comes with the 3700X. It's the bigger cooler with the RGB. I'll have a picture of it. I'll put a video up of it. But this will give me just a little bit more headroom. I'm not noticing any problems with the temperature, but I just want to make sure I could drop it down a few more degrees. I'm also going to be removing the front panel off of my PC, or I'm working on a way of cutting slits in the glass or something to get more air from the front. So, conclusion. I would have liked to buy it for about 65 bucks because with 80 tax, it's $100. There's a lot better coolers, sound wise, cooling wise. So guys, that's it. Hopefully by next week I'll have the build up of me actually putting this inside my system, but I'm gonna end up tearing my whole system down because I have some ideas I want to do for my case. I want to mod some things on it, and I want to handle the airflow because the front has a big tempered glass. It pulls in air, but I'm telling you, it's got to be less than 20% of the full air pull in. So I want to figure something out about that. So again, we're gonna figure out something about airflow in this case. And yeah, guys, you know what to do down below and in the comments. Air or water? What do you feel is the best for a system, and why you chose that? Let me see what you guys come up with down there in those comments. And Damien's on vacation, so he's not filming right now. I got my son Matthew on the camera, but Damien will be editing. And if he decides to put little things around my head, I'm gonna fire him. So if anybody out there knows how to use editing software, hit me up. All right, guys. See you guys next time.